Hello all and welcome back. In this video, we are going to cover Amazon DynamoDB Local Secondary Indexes, followed by a quick demo. DynamoDB supports two kinds of secondary indexes, local and global. DynamoDB Local Secondary Indexes are indexes that have the same partition key as the base table, but a different sort key. Local secondary indexes is local because every partition of the local secondary index is scoped to the table partition that has the same partition key. A local secondary index helps expand the number of attributes that can be used to query the table. It is updated automatically when the primary table is updated and supports both strong and eventual consistency model, as well as the transaction consistency option. Local secondary indexes can be created only during the table creation, and they cannot be added to an existing table. Local secondary indexes also cannot be removed from a table once they are created. Remember, the local secondary indexes consumes provision throughput capacity as the part of the table with which it is associated. In this demo, we would be exploring DynamoDB Local Secondary Indexes. Let's navigate to the DynamoDB console. We are going to create a simple orders table with the user ID, order date, total amount, and the delivered fields. Let's create the DynamoDB table. Name the table orders. The base table would have the user ID as the partition key and the order ID as the sort key, which gives us a unique combination for the primary key. Let's use user ID as the partition key with the type number, order ID as the sort key with the type number. Let's customize the settings. Table class standard, provisioned capacity mode, autoscaling turned off for read and write capacity, and 5 units for both read and write. The estimated read-write capacity cost is around $2.91 per month. Let's create our local secondary index. Remember, local secondary indexes can only be created at the table creation time. With the base table, we are only able to query using the user ID and sort on the order ID. However, if we have a use case to calculate the total value of purchases for the customer over a certain amount, we can't achieve this using the query operation on the base table. To cater to this use case, we would create a local secondary index with the partition key of user ID and the sort key of total amount. With local index, the partition key remains the same and only the sort key changes. Let's use the total amount as the sort key with the number data type. Note, the combination of the user ID and total amount doesn't have to be unique. Attribute projections help configure attributes that would be copied from the table to the secondary index and can be returned with the query operation. We will keep the default all, which will project all the attributes. Unlike global secondary index, local index consumes the same read and write capacity of the base table and does not have its own dedicated index capacity. Let's go ahead and create the local secondary index. Let's proceed with the table creation. Encryption with the default Dynamo keys. Deletion protection turned off for now. Let's go ahead and create the orders table. The table is in the creating status and the table is now in the active status. Let's check our local secondary index by navigating to the orders table and click on the indexes tab. And we can see the local secondary index. Let's add items to the table. Navigate to the Explore Table Items. Let's create an item. Partition key of user ID with the value 100. Sort key with order ID with the value of 100. Number data type for total amount with the value of 250. Number data type for order date with a value of 2023-06-21 and a boolean attribute for delivered status with a value false. Let's create the item. I have some more sample data which I am going to quickly insert them using the JSON view. We now have total 6 items. With query operation on the base table, we cannot query using the total amount attribute. It will lead to a scan operation which is not performant and cost efficient. Let's first query on the base table. If we search for 100 as the user ID, it returns 3 results. Let's use 100 as the order ID to query the index, and we get exactly 1 record. Let's now perform the query operation on the local secondary index. We'll select our secondary index, and it would now give us the ability to query using the user ID partition key and the total amount sort key. Let's use 100 as user ID to query the index, and it returns 3 results. We can now use the sort key total amount to query as well. Let's select greater than or equal to and enter 100. And it returns only 2 records, filtering out 1 record which did not match the amount criteria. By default, the results are ordered by total amount ascending. Let's select the sort descending and run the query again. The results are now sorted by total amount in the descending order. You can also select the projected attributes to be returned with the query. This will help to limit the amount of the data that is returned back from the query. Let's enter user ID, total amount as the projected attributes, and it returns only those attributes. So that's it for the demo on DynamoDB Local Secondary Indexes. I hope you liked the demo. Thank you all. Alright, that was it. Thank you for watching. You can check out my website and connect me on LinkedIn and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. For any feedback, please leave a comment down below. To see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. Thank you.